This summer, Everton are heading over to the United States on a pre-season tour and are playing Adrian Heath's Minnesota United. If you're going to attend that game, head on over to mnufc.com to purchase your tickets. Use the promotion code COYB22 and we'll see you there.
Oh, hello. Welcome to Toffee TV's Daily Live Extra. The fixtures are out.
They're out.
Can't wait to win in October. No, it's a tough start, isn't it? It looks a bit of a tough start on paper, as it always does, as they always do.
I said this morning, right? And like loads of people like message me going, "That's a great." I don't know why you're saying that's a great start. Someone said to me, "I've looked at every month and I'm yet to see one that scares me." I was like, "Okay, well that's fine."
Yeah.
And I'm glad you feel like. I mean, personally, October looks a little bit difficult, but that's fine if you.
I'm looking. Like I'll tell you the month I'm looking forward to. December. It looks all right
December
on paper.
Looks like we can manage.
It looks all right. I'm quite happy with December. Although Manchester City at the end of it is a bit worrying. But
is it though? Is it on New Year's Eve? Is it worrying?
Yeah. After Haaland's had a month off. If Haaland's had a month off. No, it is. It on paper it looks a difficult start. And obviously just it's a weird one this year, isn't it? Because the makeup of the season is.
God, I've just seen September. I hadn't seen September.
Yeah.
Okay.
First 7 or 8 games are.
Mind you, 2 of them are at home actually.
Have challenges, let's just say. And we want. Obviously, you want to get off to a good season.
Mm-hmm. Haven't we won 5 of the last 7 games at home against Chelsea?
Yeah, yeah.
So we've got a decent record against them, and obviously fresh in the mind will be.
Everything's always worse.
Spirits of the Blues documentary will have seen.
Everything's always worse on paper, and of course we're sitting here right now, and it's June, and we're waiting for the first things to happen in terms of buying players and stuff.
Will we have a new captain? Will Toffee lead us out that day? Who knows? Toffee.
Oh my God. Toffee. Sounds like something from the Lord of the Rings.
Doesn't matter as long as you can do the job.
Yeah, it is what it is. I know there's always that thing of you play everyone twice, but it does factor into it, of course, doesn't it? When you play teams, what clusters of games. I mean, some of these months we've got like 6 games, haven't we? Mm-hmm. That's where October, obviously the strength of your squad.
Well, there's 5 in August. Some years there's been 2 because of the international break. So there's 5 this time.
And that's where your strength of your squad's going to be tested, isn't it? And that's why Everton have obviously got to make sure now they know the.
I mean, if we look at it like glass half empty, and you go, oh my God, Villa away, Brentford away, Leeds away, Chelsea at home. Difficult games, but then you look and go, well, we got decent record against Chelsea at home. Yeah. Forest, newly promoted side, chance to beat them. Brentford and Leeds are both tricky away games, but they're both winnable away games as well. And Villa are hot and cold. They could turn up and destroy you. You could beat them. So,
I suppose the one thing I've noticed is when you look at fixtures now. There just seems the strength of the Premier League. You just look at it and go every game now. You don't. For me, I don't take anything for granted now in the Premier League. You look at every game and go, oh, that'll be tricky.
Is that just because we generally haven't been very good though as well? So it makes every game seems like a challenge. Or do you think even teams like, say, like Spurs look at them fixtures and go, oh, they're all difficult then?
Yeah, I think so. I think just the strength of every. You put it this way. You look at Palace and you go. You say you look at Palace away, most teams will go. If you're an Arsenal fan now, you go, oh, that's a tricky start, that. Palace away on Palace on the Friday night, that's a tricky start. Last season started with Brentford. That's a tricky start, that. It's, you look at, say, Brentford, and go, oh, yeah, that's a tricky Brentford away. That's not easy, there's no one. Everyone,
Even a promoted side,
exactly,
like Fulham. Whoever's got Fulham, Liverpool got Fulham, haven't they? Liverpool have got.
Of course they have.
The home, they've got just seeing a stat, they've had the championship winners first game of the season for the last 4 seasons on the run, but it's not like
no,
it's not thingy, it's all random. But Fulham away, it's at Fulham, but that could be, day one could be, Liverpool are very strong, so you generally go, they'd probably beat them, but that could be a tricky game.
In the sunshine.
In the sun.
In the sunshine. Big new stand. They've got a big new stand.
Big Marco. Bo Morty on there doing one arm press ups
in his tongue and his cap. Good times.
Great.
No, it's it is a potentially tricky start. Everton have just got to be in the right condition and have the players in. Because again, you've just said it there. You could get the situation where you get into that transfer window shut. You've already played 6 games. You know what I mean?
Well, the transfer window shuts on the 1st, and we've got a derby 2 days later.
Yeah.
I know. So,
I know.
But again, if Everton, we used to say Everton can't win both the home games and draw 3 away games and come to the end of the transfer window, they're unbeaten. They've had a good start, and then people are like buzzing for the derby. And then on September the 1st, you get Messi. We didn't expect it, but he's in free. Who knows?
You always said he wanted to play for Everton. It's a secret thing.
And Drogba's persuaded to come out of, retirement as the 4th choice striker. Who knows? Could happen.
Yeah.
And won't, but, could. Used to say.
Of course.
Used to say. But, they're out, and that's the way it is. Bournemouth are home last day of the season. Last time that happened, we were covered up and Bournemouth coming at a party. Beat us 3-1, didn't he? Moise Keane.
Yeah. Is that at home, is it?
That's home, final game. Yeah.
Interesting.
The 28th of May. The 28th of May. Scandalous.
Yeah, but we are forgetting there's a 6-week...
Oh, but I'm normally on holiday then.
Well...
So...
There is a 6-week gap in the middle of the season, which again creates its own interesting things because Everton aren't going to have too many players in the World Cup. So
give them a chance to have a few weeks off, and then
Everton could potentially have 2 players, 3 players in the World Cup. So that's everyone in the squad getting at least.
That's before
2 weeks off, isn't it?
You can't say that, mate. We could bring in 5 internationals in this transfer window that all go to the World Cup.
We're going big for Australian players.
I never know. You never know.
We're going after Canada's finest, are we?
I hope so. Alphonso Davies, all day long, please.
Pulisic.
American, obviously.
No, obviously, I'm saying no, American.
Very muddy socks the other night. Played his final game.
Couple of Mexicans.
Brennan Johnson.
Could get
Gareth Bale.
Could get Qatar's number one striker.
Big Gareth Bale.
Yeah, Gareth Bale. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Who can say?
Yeah. No, listen, they are what they are, aren't they? And we'll deal with it. And it's what's really, when you look at that, the only, and this will be an issue for a lot of clubs, not just Everton, and it'd be an issue probably every year anyway, is that, by the time the window shuts, we've played 5 Premier League games.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing a Carabao Cup game as well.
Jesus.
So we'll have had 6 games before the transfer window shuts, which is absolutely mad, isn't it?
I've just seen Josh Bowler in the gym, so next time I go in, I might tap him up. He was in his Blackpool top but his Everton shorts, so I might go in, I might tap him up next time we go in and go, do you fancy coming back, mate?
Yeah, so we're looking for wide players, so get him in.
I'm gonna
just say Josh,
I'm gonna have a few chats with him first,
finish up then,
and then go, oh, by the way, I've got the number 1 Everton YouTube channel in the world here. Do you want to fancy coming in? Tell me down the road.
Have a little chat about your career.
And there's a Morrison's on the way.
Exactly. Well, he's buzzing.
There you go. Do you know what I mean?
And he wants his haircut as a Turkish barber.
Well, his hair is looking immaculate, to be fair. Very slick back and yeah.
Fair play to him.
Yeah. He looked at me before with the kind of look that I'm sure people give to someone who they've got an injunction against. It was that kind of look, do you know what I mean? It was like, you're not allowed within 5,000 yards of me, my friend. No, yeah, he goes to our gym, yeah.
Good old Josh. Ryan Lockley says, apart from September, I don't think there's any real horrendous run of fixtures.
Well, there's 38 games.
No, I think, yeah. I think what it did, to be fair, what it did kind of notice is that in the past where you've looked and gone, oh, we've got them 6 on the run, have we? And we've got that. There doesn't.
Yeah, but we normally do well in those 6, though. That's
they're the ones where people go, we'll get 1 point out the next 18. We come out with 11, and then it's, we're defo getting 15 out of 15 now, and we get none.
I think, listen, it'll all come out And the wash, of course, will. I think to me, it's just, and I don't know why I expected this any different. But I did, to be honest, I didn't know what the makeup of the season was going to be. So, to be honest, obviously we all knew there was going to be a 6-week gap, or whatever it is. I just didn't know what the makeup of the season was going to be. I think this is where we need a competent squad, because if you're playing games every 3 days, like we've seen at the back end of the season, and I suppose this is something we have got used to in the last couple of years with COVID and everything, and obviously last season with the COVID delays over Christmas, playing a lot of games. It's how you manage your squad, and obviously teams with better squads will do it better. Obviously you've got the 5 subs rule coming in this season. I think this season's going to be very, very interesting for those players who are on the edges of the squad.
Yeah.
I think more teams, and Everton have got to be included in this, are going to have to start taking more chances on young players, squad players. The likes of Dobbin and people like that are going to have to get. You can't, if you've got 6 games plus, you've got 5 games and plus you've got a League Cup game. You're going to have to start giving those players minutes. You're going to have to. The top sides, of course, they've got massive squads, but you can't play the likes of anyone who's in the top 6 with their squads, and they're bringing on 5 players, and all those 5 players in internationals, and go, we're only going to leave 2 subs. We're only going to make 2 subs here. We're going to have to take those chances. It's unfathomable that we don't do that, and that's where maybe players in the past who haven't been given those chances are going to start to get more and more game time, and that does bring the likes of. Do you bring Ellis Sims back because of that? Is that going to start opening the doors up? And Ellis Sims, a Dobbin, a Branthwaite, some of even the more younger players, are they going to start getting more and more opportunities? Are we going to start giving those players real chances? Because we've got to with the 5 subs rule. Personally, I think we've got to. I think everybody else will. I think this idea of going, we can only bring 2 on because these are the only. You can't trust a set of players, 14, 15. For the whole of a season, when you've got 5 games in a month, it can't be done.
There's players there, though. I mean, Dobbin's had, he's got Premier League experience, hasn't he? In the season, we come on and Lampard brought him on as well, and Benitez used him and stuff like that. So he's had that experience. Sarah Onyango was in and around the squad. Reece Welsh, Frank brought him on and gave him his debut. I know it was a few minutes, but he had his debut against Boreham Wood, and potentially if Everton would have been safe for a couple of games earlier, I think we might have seen a couple more of these plays. So these are lads who are physically ready.
Yeah.
Are they good enough? Well, that's a different question altogether. But you're absolutely right. Everton are never going to be able to bring in a volume of players. With that would mean that we don't need to use these other lads, and you don't want them to, really. What you want in an ideal world is the likes of Dobbin, the likes of Welsh, the likes of Onyango to be good enough. And to grow like Anthony Gordon did, that's what you want. So that you look and go, hang on a sec, people are giving us stick, but we've actually got 7 academy players in our 18. And the good, the good lads.
And that's got to and actually that might eliminate that thing of, like, obviously last season we brought Patterson and Michaelenko in. And obviously Michaelenko got games because he had to, he was the only left back, but Patterson didn't. I think that could eliminate, that might mean that you do start seeing, the kid from Hull that we keep on getting rumoured with, or we have Lewis put a bid in or whatever. You bring someone like that in, who you think's a bit green. Someone mentioned yesterday, talking about Davy Klassen. In the past, so like a Davy Klassen would have got half a dozen games or a dozen games, and then we would have made a judgment on him. But because we brought so many players in when we brought him in, and we brought young players and they haven't had a chance, because I think you can give those players a chance, because with 5 subs and obviously a limited squad, I think Michaelenko, who I think when he first come in, we were all a little bit like, he looks off at him. But obviously he's grown, and I was reading a couple of little bits yesterday about him saying in the Ukraine games, and these Ukraine games he's just played, he said looks like them as consistent as anybody in that side. And I know they have missed out on the World Cup, but he's that comes from playing every single game in the Premier League, and that's
upper level, innit?
That doesn't always happen, because after 4 or 5 games, people go. Someone yesterday saying I knew Klassen with me. He played 6 or 7 games. Imagine, there's a lot of players, a lot of, like, in the Moyes era, people like Pienaar would have been written off after 3 or 4 games, because it takes players a little bit of time to get used to the and we don't give them that time. I just think that this might just help. Actually, I know a lot of people say, 5 subs, we're going to be destroyed. But yeah, of course, when you're playing City and Liverpool and you look to their bench and you think after 18 minutes you've done the job, and then you look who's coming on, of course it's going to be hard, but there's only 3 or 4 of those teams.
They're only coming on in 3 periods as well, aren't they? They've got it.
I tell you what, though,
it 3 times in the game?
Is it? I don't know.
So someone said.
How much are they Liverpool's new signing? How much of him is he just a massive prick? He's took Origi's number. You massive bellend.
Yeah.
You massive bellend.
Well, he's just signing because he wants to be Origi, doesn't he? I hope he's as good as Origi, yeah. Not in derbies, obviously.
See if Brighton could have signed him last summer for
No, we're not. Turned it down. They didn't fancy him, did they?
He's got a cheese-string knees, I believe.
Hope so.
That's the rumour.
Liverpool won him. Gaz says home on the first day, last day and Boxing Day. That's all you can ask for.
I'd like to be at home on Boxing Day.
I've no game on Boxing Day they've been happy with. Myers says, do you think there'll be a coach welcome for Chelsea? I hope so, personally.
Yeah, I think he will be, yeah.
Let's get off a good start, get Goodison rocking and set the tone and stand.
Let's be honest, it's a 5:30 kick-off
it's perfect
on a Saturday. The sun will probably be shining.
Yeah.
A few people out with a few cans
and
all the rest of it.
Yeah. Do it?
Yeah.
Do it and get them pumped up and get, hopefully we'll have 2 or 3 new players in that squad. Give them the what a welcome, what a way to start. God, this what Everton's about. Get that going.
Absolutely.
Gaz says howdy. Kev Rob says afternoon guys and fellow Blues. Maybe a pointless question, but why is the Goodison derby always first? Always is, isn't it? The only one we've had second has been... Oh no, we've had a couple lately. There wasn't any for years, was there? And then we had the one where Tom Davies at the post. And we had the one that cost them the league, didn't we? And I think other than that, they generally... Oh no, we also had the one with Allardyce as well, when he Don missed the sitter and Tosin to win it at the end. Don't know is the answer.
Why did you always get Burnley on Boxing Day?
Yeah, you just never know.
These are the things.
Robert Oldfield says, any news on the academy director? Is he any good, do you know? Well, obviously it's looking like it's Prosser, Graham Prosser, I think it said his name is. He was at Wolves with Kevin Thelwell. So if he can do the job and Kevin Thelwell's impressed by him, he's obviously not someone who's been at Everton before.
Yeah.
So we'll be a fresh pair of eyes for an academy. Might change the way they do things. Then if it's him, then obviously, they've had extensive interviews and they've interviewed a lot of people, so he's the one that has come across the best. Good. Well, I don't know that much about him. I can't sit here and tell you, oh, he's great, he's done this, he's done that, because I honestly don't know. But all you can do is trust the process, really, innit? Brian Murray says, I lads don't know if you've seen Gavin Buckland out the Echo saying Machiri is spooked by losing nearly 80% of his investment with relegation and doesn't want to go through it again. Oh, nearly losing 80% investment with relegation. Must have been purgatory pacing up and down his yacht worrying. Yeah, must have been really hard on him, mustn't it? Kev says, blue smoke on the first game of the season, please. Let's do it all in all the big home games for the upcoming season. The remaining players and any potential new players will love it. I'm guessing the potential American owners will love it too. Well, it just create the atmosphere. The biggest thing it did was that atmosphere went into the stadium and it was electric in the stadium. If you can create that, and let's be honest, generally the opening day of the season is quite noisy anyway. I mean, even last season with Rafa Benitez in charge, I know it was the first time we'd all been back in the stadium and all that, but that Southampton game, it was quite loud.
Yeah.
At the start, and certainly when Decore scored, and there was pure limbs to go 2-1 up, the noise was really good. And that was with having people's kind of loyalties. Well, they weren't split. We didn't want Benitez, did we, in the dugout? But we tried to just back the team. But if you're doing it now, create that horrible, intimidating atmosphere that Goodison Park can do, then Chelsea will be looking at it thinking, for fuck's sake, tricky game. And sometimes you better play in these teams day one.
I'd rather play Chelsea at home on day one than play, say, Nottingham Forest away on day one.
Dean Evans says if you were to give me a Sky 6 team to play your own first day of the season, it would be Chelsea. There you go. Barry says, afternoon lads, hope you've had a chance to look at the new FC Aintree kit. Sponsor looks class on it. Ped once I get it off for you guys.
See that
yeah, it looked good, Baz. It looked really good. Saw it the other day, so nice one, mate. Graham says, hi lads, really appreciated the message you sent regarding my current situation. Well, it could have been a worse run of games to start the new season with, and it's great that we are at home referred to Chelsea, to welcome Chelsea in. Yeah. Stephen Lamb says, oh, what a beautiful day. Chalk ice weather.
Lolly ice weather.
Ice lolly weather.
No, it's not ice lolly weather at all.
That's what will be said.
For
a certain type of people.
For the Ned crew.
Of course, it's lolly ice. It's always been lolly ice.
For the Ned crew.
Dean Evans says, if you were to give me a... Oh, no, I've just said that. Joe Mack says, just looking at the fixture graphic, Everton tweeted, why does it look like we've got double the amount of away games? We do seem to have loads of away games early on, but the way it is. Anthony Annett says, I'm confident we will be fine. Good. Patrick McLaughlin says, this is the best time of the season. Yeah.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah. Jack Ladd says, something's happening. Someone getting sold because we're going to Lisbon to negotiate the Matheus Nunes deal.
Are we?
That's a rumour today, isn't it? No, isn't he got a €60 million buyout thing? Just because he's got a buyout doesn't mean that's what the fee is. I mean, it was 18 million last year, but we looked like we had the deal done, and then we didn't do it, and then he signed an extension, didn't he? And that obviously where the 60 million came in. Timo is in the comments. Tim O'Brien says, cheers boys, I'll be in England for the derby in September. Any advice on getting tickets? Never been to Goodison, so what a game to be in England for. Are you in at
Everton USA or something like that?
Contact them, Timo.
Yeah.
Steve Peace says, Baz, would you look at Cody Gakpo's or Richarlison replacement? I don't know, to be honest. A couple of years ago we looked like he was going to be top draw. He still is lively, don't get me wrong. He scored the other night, I think, against Wales as well, didn't he? I don't know, is the truth. He's got something, like, there's no question about that. Jack Ladd said, much rather sell Gabaman than Gomez. He did decent when he come on against Newcastle.
Who?
Gomez.
Sell them both.
Sell Gomez. No, without even thinking about it. Frank Miley says Mashiri or Kenyon's consortium. Personally, I'd rather have Mashiri. He does spend money.
I have no idea. I don't know what the makeup of that consortium is. So
no.
Far too early to say. Far too early.
Jack Ladd says, so we can't do swaps. Baz, Virginia over there, Tottenham offer 2 players. And why can't we do the same for Nunes? Well, first and foremost, João Virginia probably would equate to Matheus Nunes as like right boot or something. He would though, wouldn't he? If they're gonna they probably want 20 million at least for Nunes, and Everton will get 2 or 3 million. So. Tony Manley says, if we let Richie go, I think we will. I'd like us to sign Ryan Kemp from Rangers. Very skillful and direct. Him on the left with Gordon down the right. Will be exciting. Not convinced by him, to be honest. So he's done really, don't get me wrong, done really well for Rangers. But I watched him in that Europa League final. Just not convinced by him at all. Like, that he'd be able to do it for us. I think there's better that we could get. Samuel says, never been lolly ice. It's ice lolly for a southerner like me.
No, it's not.
Well, he just said the words, hasn't he? Southerner.
It's a lolly ice. It always will be. It always has been.
Jake Franklin says, if this video gets 100 likes, then Ped has to smile. So don't smile for the next 32 likes till we get another 32 likes.
Why? What's that?
I don't know. He might want to see you smile. He might say like you've got a nice smile. He wants to see it. So don't smile,
I'm literally one of the most smilest people in the world.
Don't smile, yeah. Joanne Toffee says, I'd take nothing for Gomez just to get rid. Cam's in the comments, says, afternoon boys, ridiculously hot today, isn't it? Ned's trying to force me to go to the zoo when we get to the USA against my will. You defo have asked Cam to go to the zoo, hasn't he?
There's a shop in Minneapolis that apparently Ned's favourite YouTuber owns, Lizard Fella. Apparently he asks all the young boys to show him his lizard. And Ned
Don't laugh, don't smile.
Oh, no.
We're only on 89.
Ned wants to go. And he asked us. So now he's asking Paul Cam. And yeah, it's not. I mean, obviously we're not going. I mean, why would we?
I think John Blaine would go with them to the zoo.
I'm not sure about that. It's just a shot.
Imagine that saying to John. Should we go to the zoo, John?
I want to go to the zoo. I want to see the lions.
He just goes, you can hear him behind the thing. It's just a shop. It's just a shop.
No, the things he wants to do in America is frightening. Absolutely frightening, honestly. He's like, you know, if it's not Guantanamo Bay, it's anything. It's just like, you know, can we find a zoo to go to? Is there an aquarium anywhere near?
What do you want to do in Baltimore, Ned?
Not get shot.
I mean, that's
a bit of a stereotype, isn't it?
Yeah, but however,
do you know what I was looking for the other day, Ned? Genuinely, right? No, because we have to get from Washington to Baltimore and back. I was looking how expensive it would be to hire a limo to take us.
A limo?
Yeah, what's your thoughts on getting a limo?
Well, too hot.
it'd be well too hot in a limo.
There's this thing, right, that Ned doesn't understand, that in America they have this thing called air conditioning.
Yeah.
Like, literally everywhere. He doesn't understand the concept of that. And it's just going to be hilarious. I can't wait. I honestly think he's going to turn up, right, with a vest on and like, you know, the handkerchief on the head. That's how I think he's going to approach America.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I said to him, he said, can you get factor 100? I went, yeah, just slap on factor 50 twice.
John's not listening. John's tuned
John's
out.
in Mr. Business
He is
mode.
in Mr. Business mode, yeah.
Like in the Lego film.
We've got 109 likes, so you can smile.
I've done it already. Or that might have been wind, I'm not sure.
There it is.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Cam though when we go to the States, because he is literally
gonna
be the babysitter, isn't he?
No,
when you see these films where there's like this little gang, a group of kids, and it's like, what's your role in the gang? It's like, you've got to look after your little brother or something. That's what I feel like Cam's going to be like. Cam's going to be like that, you know, with his flick knife and doing his hair, you know what I mean, grease back, wants to be one of the T-birds, but he's got to put up with this fella for a week, which I feel's a little bit harsh. Come on, Cam, should we go and buy some chocolates from the shop?
Cam says if I go in there and see an alligator, I'm flying out quicker than Usain Bolt after a pre-workout.
Fair enough, Cam.
It's in an enclosure.
Family enclosure.
Well, if it's in the family enclosure, he'll just get off and go to McDonald's.
He will, he'll be gone.
You know, that's
he'll
what
be
he
gone
does.
because Mackey's will be more important. Incredible. The Woo
Do you know when you want to go
one
and see
says
them in America, Ned?
there's a great aquarium in Baltimore.
Chick-fil-A.
No, we're not going to Chick-fil-A. You get that out your head. We're not going to Chick-fil-A. We're not going to Chick-fil-A. We're not going to Taco Bell. We're not going to McDonald's.
He's got to go to McDonald's.
Let him-
He's
he can
never been to a McDonald's in
He
America.
can have one. He's got one voucher for a franchise. One voucher for a franchise that is here.
I mean, we're saying this. We need to. Let's be honest. We need to
No,
have a look ourselves.
No, of
but
course.
yeah,
And there's some that I can appreciate, but if it's something I can get in this country, I'm not going.
you've got to
it.
let him go into McDonald's.
Yeah.
He's never been in.
I want to see him get a big hug off the hamburger.
I want to see him get and have a big gulp. I want Ned to have a big gulp.
Yeah.
See how he gets on.
How much sugar's in this?
Lee Riding says Apple TV showing every MLS game for $4.99 worldwide. When will the Premier League wake up to the modern world?
It's a brilliant deal, and it might be the deal that actually opens the door to seeing this. It's a sensational deal, $2.5 billion worldwide. There'll still be TV rights, but there'll be no blackouts. Season ticket holders of every club get it for free, which is unbelievable. Imagine they did that here. It'd be a meltdown, wouldn't it? It's how it should be. Let's be honest. It's absolutely pathetic. I keep saying it. It's pathetic that anybody who wants to watch their own team has to find an illegal way of doing it. It's utterly pathetic.
Especially when people actually want to pay to watch. Like, would go. Yeah, I'll pay that.
I'll pay it, yeah.
Just
I don't
want to
sit there when Everton are
around.
playing away, going from stream to stream. I just want to go, right, I'm prepared to pay £15 a month for all the games.
Yeah. And they'd make unbelievable money. But Jack Ladd went to New York a few years ago, said it was incredible. Cam said he does like an aquarium, to be fair. So Ned and Cam, Baltimore aquariumed up.
But don't you think the reason Cam likes going to an aquarium is so that he looks manly next to the lizards?
Possibly.
Fish.
Jake Franklin says Tarkovsky, Colwill, Gallagher, Lewis Potter, Batshuayi, as well as the solid number 6 and a few youngsters coming through, will be a solid window. Solid. That would be an incredible window, I think, given where Everton are money-wise. But, yeah, there you go. Blue Cali says boys on tour of USA will be like hangover films, lol.
Need to get our shirts made.
Now, have you got a microphone, by the way?
Yeah, it's over there.
What do you mean it's over there? Are you talking into a microphone?
I'm not.
James,
When are you going to understand this concept that no one can hear you if you don't have a microphone? Apparently you're a scientist and yet you don't know what our microphone works.
I am a scientist.
Absolute tit, that's what you are.
the James Warland joined Patreon yesterday.
Oh,
That's right. James said a great job with the Spirit of the Blues documentary. Nice one, James. James also said in and out, as in and out burger.
Can't get in and out on the East Coast. You can only get it in California, which I have been to, and it is lovely.
I really wanted one.
Well, you can't have them. I'm sure there's already local stuff.
Mm-hmm. Thomas Atkinson says if Everton sell Richarlison to Chelsea, he's back first game. Nasser Al-Dosari says, guys, would you please inform us about new squad, new players? There isn't any, Nasser. James Tarkovsky will become an Everton player by all, accounts very soon, and that's the only one right now. There's a lot of talk of players, but that's where we are at the moment. So, Everton fan KJB says he'd love Delafeu back. Someone asked me about him. Where's that going?
Was that Delafeu you actually asked that on Patreon?
There was Delafeu. Jay Sullivan says, Baz, what game is that rainbow shirt from behind you?
The Rainbow Toffees.
Mm.
It's my shirt. I played
Ped
in it.
shirt, play for the Rainbow Trophies in a game. Was it last summer? Or was it
Yeah, it was
before?
last summer. They've played other games since, just like can't be asked.
Steve P says, can Ned do a cover of Sam Fender's 17 going on?
I've asked. I know what. I've told them to do it. I've told them to do a cover of like good songs, and I don't really like Sam Fender's not very particularly good. And it's like Ned, people want to hear you do a version of it, and it's a big song, and everyone loves it. And if you did a version of it, get loads of hits on Tinternet, on YouTube, loads of views, then loads of people would watch your other stuff, and then maybe people in Liverpool would book you, so you don't have to go to the back arse of Burnley to do shows that basically where you spend all your dough on for diesel now because it's more expensive than gold. But he goes, I don't really like that music, so I'm not going to play it. I don't really like charty stuff. I like the, secret underground music.
I like Kate Bush and she's in the charts. Nobody in the pub I play and listening to.
But why is she in the charts?
Because of Stranger Things.
Because of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So what's basically happened is, it's a popular song. It was a popular song from years ago that has got traction. So what you should do now is do a cover of that song because it's got traction.
Yeah, I already have.
So where is it?
I sent it you.
You didn't send it to me.
Or me.
Yeah, I've just not.
So where is it?
It's on Instagram.
So is it on YouTube?
No.
So what? Oh no! Why would they put it on YouTube? It's only the biggest search engine of videos in the world, isn't it?
It wasn't that good of a cover.
We'll do a good one then. Oh, I couldn't. I was too busy licking my choc ass.
Gray Leeds says, off topic, lads, but I found out last night you can VPN Disney Plus like you can Netflix and get some shows you can't get over here. I'm pretty sure anyone in America can do the same and get Star via their app.
Hang on. I don't think there's shows on Disney Plus in America that are not over here. In fact, Disney Plus in the UK gets a lot more than the Americans do because they have Hulu and we don't have Hulu. We have Star built in. So you've got to pay extra for the stuff we get here. So I don't think... I mean, tell me what stuff it is and I'll...
You what? Watch it.
No. What would I do
Shut up
that?
then. Gary Ward.
Do a cover of them.
Gary Ward's going for 51 points next season. Okay.
Fair to see you.
That's you.
Fair play to you. Timo says, cheers boys. I've just done that. Have you done that before? I was on YouTube as well. Fair play to come up on here. Robert Oldfield says, I voted on the fan advisory board yesterday. Steve Kelly was one of my choices. Well done, Robert.
So you can have 3 votes.
Yeah.
So if you're having 3 votes, I'm not telling you to vote for,
It
but
feels
I voted for Steve, Degsy,
Mm.
and I also voted for... Who's the other one?
I voted for Jeff.
Jeff.
Warner.
They were my 3. I'm not telling you to vote for those 3. But if you are on Patreon, 2 of our patrons are going for it. So why not? Everyone loves Degsy. And Steve Kelly, everyone knows he's the Will Clooney.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you want that kind of smoothness on the fans forum? I think he'd elevate the fans forum to a smoothness not yet seen. He'd be there with his little Nespresso, like that.
I don't
Just
the
like
same
an
3 as
espresso,
you.
Steve.
Hello, gods.
Kev Rex says, hello lads. Kev doesn't say that. Steve does. Do you guys think Frank and the coaching staff will have a way to play away from home for the upcoming season? We can't have an away record like last season again.
No, we need to win. We need to win at least 8 away games next season.
I think let's start with
6.
about 5.
6. Let's say 6.
5 or 6. Yeah, 6 like just
6.
Under third. It's not.
It's not the end of the world, is it?
No.
6.
Chris says, "Hi lads, apologies if I'm getting morbid with these messages, but I thought it'd be something you'd like to know. As I mentioned, my dad passed away last week, and we had to pick something for him to wear. We agreed he would have loved this Toffee TV hoodie. That's obviously a very personal thing, Chris. So if he loved this that much, then obviously." That's nice to hear from our thing, but obviously, you know, it's one of them, isn't it? At the moment, you're having a tough time. So, if that's what you've all agreed and people are happy with it in your family, then it's good, because that's what you want, don't you? For your loved ones, you try to, you know, you get that comfort when people in your family pass away. You get comfort from little things, don't you? And if for us, that's humbling, I guess, for that. That's what, for something so personal, you've chosen something that he loved, which was this channel, this show. Then,
it's just Everton, innit?
And it's Everton, isn't it? Everton at the end of the day. Not us, is it? Because all we're doing is just talking about the football club, aren't we? So, but as always, mate, we're just...
Yeah. And if you need anything else,
let us know. Let us know, mate. Joe Mack says, any rumoured pre-season games, lad? Lads. All we know at the moment is that there's Arsenal, there's Minnesota United, there's Dynamo Kiev, isn't it? That's going to be a good one, isn't it? I imagine. And that's all that's come out so far. I imagine Everton will have a pre-season friendly, but it'll probably be at Finch Farm on whatever the first Saturday of the season is. So like the 5th of July or something, the end of the first week. It'll probably be a bounce game against someone like Blackpool or someone, or Accrington Stanley, someone like that at Finch Farm, I imagine. Because the week later, we're back on the 1st. Is that a Monday? No,
it's a Friday.
It's a Friday, isn't it? Sorry, yeah. So the 2nd, yeah. So they won't play that. I imagine they'll play on the 9th of July in a local game, but I think it'll be behind closed doors. And then obviously Everton travel to the US then. A few days later, they play those 2 games in America, and then I think they leave on the 21st, so they'll get back to the UK on the 22nd. Don't think they'll play on the 23rd, but they may play someone on the 24th, which would be the Sunday. And then I imagine the following weekend will be Dynamo Kiev, and then the week after is Chelsea. So they may only end up playing 5 pre-season games.
It's weird, isn't it?
Which isn't great, really. It's sometimes better to end up playing 6 or 7 and getting some volume into the players, particularly ones who are trying to battle to get in that team. I might be wrong. They might throw another couple in midweeks, but it's the way you look at it is the championship starts the week before. So the championship season kicks off on the 30th of July. So there's just, unless you're playing European sides. Of course, what might happen is you might get someone like Deportivo coming over and playing like 8 games in England and Scotland like those teams do, and Everton might end up jumping on one of them. But just right now, it doesn't seem to be any. Mike Barrett says Ned has big plans for someone who's going to be dying from heat stroke.
Mike, I love hot weather. It's my favourite thing about the earth.
So what you like is that the earth is heating up and slowly all the animals, especially the lizards,
The worst thing about the earth
dying.
is global warming. But
It's no such thing as global warming. It's called climate change.
it's climate
It's
change.
called climate change. Global warming is not the correct term, Ned.
But I do like a bit of warm weather.
Do you? Yeah. Know where you should move to?
Norway.
The sun. It's particular warm there.
He's incredible.
It is incredible.
He's incredible.
Stick some factor 50 on.
And you're laughing. Dean Evans says Ned and Cam defo asking each other, do American Lions have American accents? Carla says the fact that Ned fell for the Guantanamo Bay water park joke so long is hilarious. Does he research stuff or not?
No, I just believe what people tell me, especially those people who are meant to be teaching me things.
Fair enough. Dean says Apple will definitely buy a batch of Premier League matches soon. Terry McAllister says, afternoon chap, since we had an interest in Keane Lewis Potter but nothing came of it, do you think we'll go back for him after a sale loosens the gears up? I guess it depends who else is available, Terry, and how much do you think this kid's got it. If he's paying down payments of 2.5 million a season, means to me that you think he's got something but you're not really sure.
Yeah.
It just depends all on the finances, doesn't it? There's others, they like Brennan Johnson, they like 2 or 3 other wide players who they've been looking at closely. It depends which one they fancy going for. And like you said, how loose the purse strings are once they get a sailing, or once, you know, who knows, maybe on the 1st of July Everton's books loosened slightly and it means there's a bit more wiggle room to go after someone. Derek says love the summer months because we get all these daily lives. Kept me up last summer.
Daily lives are always on.
And Derek, he's a patron.
They're always on Patreon.
So they're always on Patreon. Come on, mate. Kept me up last summer when I had a difficult job. Thanks for your work, boys. Also, who are some of your transfer targets for the summer? It's hard to say at the moment. We definitely need 2 midfield players who can get around a pitch 100%. Obviously, Tarkovsky coming in looks like, you know, that's a centre back in there. What else they do with the defence may depend on whether Moyes comes for Michael Keane or whether Marseille or an Italian club want Yerry Mina. That may mean Everton's hands are forced to go back in for someone else, or whether they can get, you know, Levi Colwill on loan for the season with a view to buy something like that. They may go back in for the centre back, but right now for me it's centre midfield, and then obviously it's going to be dictated to by what happens with Richarlison or Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Gary Ward says you'll have to get a pit beef sandwich while you're in Baltimore. There you go.
Point me in the right direction.
And Chris says much appreciated, guys. Thank you. No worries, Chris. Take it easy. Take it easy as much as you can anyway. Cam says, speaking of sun cream, Ned, will you do my back? Also, Cam did say, I've been to America before, I know the score. Yeah.
Back and sack. For the pit. Maybe they'll go and get that before they go together.
A wax.
They'll go and get a wax somewhere
back
together.
and sack wax.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe Paige could do that. She does that kind of stuff, doesn't she?
I don't do wax.
Okay, she doesn't do wax.
She should do.
Should do. It's a
It's a profitable
You can
thing.
trim my hair so I'm not sweating with a big ginger cat wig in wherever we're going.
You know what? You'd look good, Ned. I'm being
Skinhead?
serious. No, I'm
Bald.
being serious.
Yeah, I'd
no,
always
he
want to
couldn't
be
have a
baldy,
skinhead,
mate.
mate.
Right.
He would, because he wouldn't be. He'd go outside for 11 seconds and not a beer. He'd just take a whitey and be gone. You should get a hairband. Like an Alice band.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got short
yeah.
Just
hair.
have
Yeah.
it. No, because you haven't though. You've
I
got
have.
a mop. If you had an Alice band back there and factor 50 on, you would look
I've
sound.
just had my hair cut.
I think
In fact, me, John, and Ped and Cam will probably be like made up to walk with you because you'd just be.
I think
It'd be like when Elvis stepped out.
I've got my old bucket out of the bottom drawer anyway.
Timo says, "Can we please just buy an American again?" Come on.
Can you get like a bucket hat that's got a little pocket in it, a little zip pocket
No,
on
because someone can just nick me out, wear a bum bag, I can fasten nice and tightly around my stomach. Or a waist bag, whatever they're called.
Okay.
Fanny pack is what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I can hide it under my shirt and no one will rob me.
Yeah, definitely a fanny pack. Sound?
Oh my God.
We're going to card your Glock.
My Glock? I'm not licensed to carry a firearm in America.
Timo says, "Can we please just buy an American again? Come on, I miss having Timmy for club and country." Yeah.
There you go.
And Steve P, last one, says, "What are your thoughts on Stephen Bergwijn? He just reminds me of a B-Tech Memphis Depay. I wouldn't go near him. He looks out of shape and he doesn't have that much pace." Yeah, he was just mentioned.
I don't want other people's cast-offs.
No. Defo not. Right, final refresh on Patronian. What are you laughing at?
Someone on Patreon then in the comment.
Is it just me who sees Ned going off like a match as soon as he steps off the plane? Oh my God, that's incredible. Right, that is us done. We will be back tomorrow. Take it easy.
Be on Patreon at 5.
Yeah, we will be actually. Enjoy the sun the rest of the day. If you're a patron, we'll see you at 5. Take it easy. Bye.